everyone, it's Stu here from Shropshire Raised Ponds. Thought I'd do a video of my pond. It's mid-May 2020 and it's a bit chilly today. Clear blue skies, no planes in sight thanks to COVID. And yeah, maybe you can see any of the fish. It's a bit chilly for them, so some of them are slowed down again. But what I thought I'd show you is what I do to flush out my filters, sort of the whole process, and why I have it set up the way I do. Because one of the big things about owning a koi pond is having excellent filtration and then maintaining that filtration. So, you know, it's all about making sure, you know, the filtration is working at its utmost to enable the quality of filtration to be at its best. So let's just quickly run through what I have. So I have a trickle sort of backy shower filter. And this is the last in line, so we'll actually go through step by step. But this skimmer is not actually connected to any of the filtration. It's actually just connected to a Y valve, three-way valve, that allows me to just have the exit either come from the water through to the waterfall or just straight back into the pond. And it's just used to skim the surface of the water, so any food that goes straight into there just comes out at the moment, right out at the waterfall and back into the pond again. And then in winter I can turn the waterfall off so it doesn't cool down the pond prematurely, and then just have the water come pushing out into the pond again. It just creates a bit of a current in the pond. I have a 20,000 gallon per hour pump submersed into the pond. This comes out here, goes all the way around, and then first point of entry is this vortex filter. It's like a pre-filter. Well, it's not like a pre-filter, it is a pre-filter. And this basically works a bit like a Dyson. Basically it just simply collects the large debris at the bottom of that collection cup, and then you flush it out, which I'll show you in a minute. And then goes from here. There is normally a filter in here, a very fine filter, but that gets clogged up super quick, so I only put that in when the water in the pond is looking a little bit sort of, there's a bit of detritus in the pond, or detritus. I don't know if I can speak English. So yeah, I don't put it in there all the time. It's just basically the vortex aspect of the filter that I use. It's okay. I expected more from it. You know, I expected it to sort of act like a Dyson more, but you know, it's alright. It does the job a little bit. So it goes from there to my very old second-hand bead filter. And I'm a big fan of bead filters. Quick word, you do need some sort of, unless your pond is submerged in the water, you do need some form of pressure filtration. You can't have a gravity-fed filtration because obviously this pond isn't gravity-fed. None of the filtration can be gravity-fed. It would just simply overflow because all the filtration would be below the waterline, and then you'll end up with a big problem. So whenever you have a wooden pond like this, and it's above ground, because you can bury these completely and they won't rot or warp or bend. But if it's above ground, like most people do, then you have to make sure you have some form of pressure filtration. And in my opinion, And in quite a few people's opinion, the best form is a bead filter. Now this is a very old one. I got it off for 80 quid off eBay, and you'll see why it was 80 quid in a minute, because some of the things don't work. And you would think with me owning a business that sells ponds and filtration equipment, I wouldn't be such a tight ass and get a second-hand one. But I've had this for a while, so you know, and it's doing all the stuff it needs to do in there, and it's operating within the bounds it should be, and I'm managing to deal with things that don't work so well. So we'll go through that in a minute. And then it goes through there, out the top. I still yet to do all the hard pressure piping fittings right now. It was just a case of I wanted to get this in, so I use flexi hose to plan it out, and then when I've got time I'll sort it out properly eventually. So it goes all the way out of that exit from the bead filter to this split valve. The reason I have a split valve here is so I can have a run out and put that in the field and empty the pond if I need to. I also use it just to flush the pond both ways, flush the filter both ways. And then it goes from there to the UV, from the UV back up to the vacuum shower filter. Just a quick tip, to monitor your pond, just get yourself a pair of one of these kitchen skewery things that you measure temperature of meat and cooked things that you're cooking food with, and plonk this in your pond. Have it set somewhere and it just works perfectly and allows you to see the temperature of the pond water. The other thing I have is I've obviously got a switch box for all the bits and pieces that I have, but I also made a overflow pipe, because I have constantly feeding into the pond RODI water, or you can just have a chlorine filter put on the end. So that's fed from actually inside the house, from the downstairs toilet, would you believe? Not the basin, but the feed to the toilet. And then I fashioned this overflow, which you can find out online how to make them. They're pretty straightforward. And yeah, so basically it keeps the water, I don't know whether you can see that, just at that level. So even when there's loads of rain and everything, this pond most of the time doesn't overfill unless there's a bit of air in it, which I have to sort of drain out. And then it just trickles out, and right now, as you can see, another thing I need to sort out properly, but it just sort of trickles out there. So that's all the filtration. I actually built this. Lots of questions about this water. And I built this. This is super easy to build, and it's connected directly to the pond, as you can see. So, you know, it's pretty sturdy. It weighs a ton. It's pretty straightforward to build. Put it this way, if I could build it, you can build it. So there we go. And then I think that's about it, really. So yeah, go back to the entrance of the pond. So yeah, these two pipes, this one goes to the waterfall when the split valve in the pond from the skimmer is on, and it's going to the waterfall there. So let's get on with the filtration rinsing thing, you know, all the technical terms. So first thing I do is I get this drain from the filter out, and then I've got some Valtteri valves, which are super good, gate valves, and then I shut them off. That one closed, turn off the pump, open that, close this one, because this is going to the UV, and as you can see, the trickle shower filter is stopped. That's starting to work, so we open that. Now for this, we open the top of this, so air can get in, put that there, and then that drains off. And this is a tricky bit, because this is an old setup for my arse. This is an old filter, and it's this thing. Normally, if there's no pressure, this would come up and then the exit would happen of the water, but it doesn't work very well. So you kind of have to force it by getting it to work kind of manually. So you have to do this each time. So this causes it to move down. It doesn't work normally, it's just old and stiff, like me. So that starts to drain that, as you can hear. Air comes through here, causing turbulence within the beads, and that creates them to stir and get all the nasty out, and then that exits there. So we let that run off. Yeah, that's water, that air's coming through there. Hopefully you can hear the beads in all pressed up. You'll start to see the water turn a very nice brown. Gets to the bottom of the water in the filter, it'll begin to change colour. And there's two ways you can do this. You can flush it, just having pond water being forced back through it again. So as you can see, the water is changing to a nice gloopy brown soup. Good for the plants though. It's doing wonders for the roses. So, yeah, whilst that's doing that, we go back here and just rinse this out. So all we're doing is allowing the gravity of the water, the pressure of the water from the pond, just to force water back into this. There's no pump active, this is just pressure from the water. Because the water height is there and this is way down here. So yeah, that's just open side. Close that off again. So once we close that off, put this back on, close the valve, and then this is drained. So as you can see, that's drained. So what I now do is I put this back on. You wouldn't do this if you had a nice brand new, well priced, everything I sell is super well priced. Should put my prices up, they're a bit ridiculous. And then we tighten that up. Yeah, you wouldn't do this if you had a decent bead filter that had a blower. A blower basically does what that does. Forces air into, or sucks in air and then stirs up the beads. That's what a blower does. So that's all that done. What we need to do next is we open up the gate valves. Close this off so it doesn't run through. As you can hear, The good thing is the air that gets in there gets trapped and then pushes air back into the bead filter, as you can hear. And then this comes out. As you can hear, this is exciting. And this will be a nasty colour as well. As you can see, it only takes a few minutes to flush out the filter, and in summer you would probably do this 3 times a week minimum. So there's the water coming out, and then we just wait for that to clear again. I know we really shouldn't just have it running like that, and I should put it in the field, which is there, but for the sake of this video, I'll just have it running here for now. Get my feet soaked. So we wait for that to clear. As soon as that's cleared, we shut off the valves again, turn around, and we're good. And the fish is gone. Where the fish is gone? They do have koi fish, you wouldn't believe though, would you? They like to go under the waterfall. They do like the waterfall. One down there is a little bit chilly, but let's go over there. Should be done now. And it's looking a lot clearer. Yeah, it's clear. So move back. And then we turn that one on and that one off. It all goes back through to the UV, back out to the vacuum shower filter, and that's our maintenance done. It really doesn't take very long at all. Super quick, super easy. I hope you've enjoyed that video. I hope you found it helpful. If you're considering a raised wooden pond, consider us. structureraisedponds.co.uk. Best prices in the UK for raised wooden ponds. We make sure that we offer the best value for money we can. Small family run business, so there's no huge warehouses or stores or garden centres to run. It's just the family. So there we go.